5 grams in the backwood, meet me in the city. Nigga want a jewel, tell her meet me in the city. 5 grams in the backwood, meet me in the city. Shawty wanna lay up, she know we ain't got no feelings. I came up from the floor.
Hey man, how y'all doing, man? We back once again with another episode of Smoke Room 93, man. I'm here with somebody very legendary, man. You know what I'm saying? In so many ways. He done so much for the community. He done so much for the city of Mobile, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? I can't get into it too much long, but I gotta tell you, this is a legend, man, and I want all my people to be accepting of what he gotta say, cause you know what I'm saying, he really trying to make a change out here, and I just can't hold you no longer, man. This is no other than the man, mayor candidate, city councilman, FREDRICK Richardson. How you doing, huh?
Doing fine. Glad to be here.
Good to see you, man. I want to get into this, man, and for my listeners and viewers, man, could you give these folks just a little bit of where you come from and how you got started and on your path to become city councilman?
Yeah, I should not even be here based on where I had to come from. I was born in rural Connecticut County.
Yes, sir.
In a community called Demps, Alabama, on a little small farm. I'm one of 12 children that was born to my parents, Fred and Helen Richardson. My daddy died when I was 16 years old.
Yes, sir.
Leaving 9 children in the house with an unemployed mama on the farm.
Oh, man.
I didn't see no way out. I didn't see how we were going to come out of that situation. So I tried to volunteer for the military, and my mother told me, your daddy would turn over in his grave if you leave school. So I knew then I can't quit school, can't go to the military. I got to bail on with it. So it was nothing but the Lord who got us out.
Yes, sir.
Out of the 10 who lived to get grown, all 10 finished high school. 7 went to college. My brother under me was mayor of North Randall, Ohio. My sister under me, she and I graduated from the University of South Alabama the same night. But I said that to say this. Where you from has nothing to do with anything. Where you from tells you where your mama was when you were born. From that point on, it's up to you.
Yes, sir.
If you can be born on Broadway in New York, if you don't do nothing with yourself, you're not going to be nothing. If it is to be, it is up to me.
Yes, sir.
So the same night, I couldn't go to the high schools, the 4 high schools in Connecticut County, because I was black.
Yes, sir.
They built a training school for all blacks to go. I graduated from a training school. That was a school to make sure I wouldn't be able to compete with nobody else. That it was a segregated school, had teachers were not prepared, no equipment. Anyway, it was that setting that I graduated from. On the same night I graduated, I left home, not one nickel in my pocket.
Yes, sir.
My sister came to the graduation and brought me back to Mobile with her. I came to Mobile, got a job at Mobile Infirmary, took the U.S. Postal exam, passed it, got hired at the U.S. Postal Service. Married, raised a family. But while I was at the Postal Service, I went to Carver State Technical School and graduated. I went to Bishop State Community College and graduated all at night while I was raising a family. While I was participating in the civil rights struggle, I was doing all of this at the same time. Graduated from the University of South Alabama with a degree in political science, went back to graduate school in history. At the Postal Service, they hired me as a temporary letter carrier, meaning I wouldn't be there long. I stayed at the Postal Service for 32 years. I retired as manager of station and branch operations, where I had a number of offices under my auspices.
Yes, sir.
Hundreds of employees, all kinds of trucks, cars, equipment, money, stamps. I was in charge of all of that when I retired. When I retired, I then proceeded to try to get to what I love, political science.
Yes, sir.
politics.
So you went to school for that?
I went to school for it. I went to school for it.
Yes, sir.
History and politics, I was going, those are the roads that I was going down.
Yes, sir.
So, Senator Michael Pickens died. When he died, his wife, Vivian Pickens, was on the city council. She appointed me to take her place. She recommended me to take her place. And the council voted me in.
Yes, sir.
1997. I've been on the council since 1997. I went on the council not trying to follow in the footsteps of nobody. I first looked at the law to see what my boundaries were, what it was I could or could not do. Then I set out to take it to the limits.
Yes, sir.
Whether I found I could travel, I went all the way to Perth, Australia, and recruited Austin.
So
I wasn't waiting on nobody.
You recruited Austin?
I recruited Austin.
Oh, okay.
I went all the way. I was criticized. Look what he spent for food. Look what his airplane ticket cost him. 4,000 employees at Austin. They still talking about the food I ate and the plane I rode on. know why they doing that? They didn't want Fred Richardson doing that because no one has done that before. Who is it?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Can't somebody stop the man? Then I got a food desert over here in Midtown. I recruited Publix. You all probably been in Publix on O'Shea Road at Florida Street. That's my Publix.
God,
so when the mayor's office was recruiting Publix, he closed down construction for 40 days. Please stop, Fred. Don't let him get Publix. But you see why they were trying to stop me. Look at all those businesses. Look what has happened in that corridor.
Yes, sir.
There's no segment in the city growing faster than that section. And the property value has almost doubled in those folk living there.
Yes,
because
sir.
Publix has a drugstore. You can get any kind of food, dinners, whatever. It is an outset. Publix is rated #1 among grocery stores in the nation.
Yes, sir.
I recruited Publix. Then if you go, they got Central Plaza Tower in Crichton.
Yes, sir.
Right down here to Mobile Street to Bayshore Avenue. It's 300 seniors in Central Plaza Tower. No food, no water, they just live in there. So a lot of those people in wheelchairs, they had to get the wheelchair out, roll it up on Spring Hill Avenue, fight with that traffic trying to find something to eat. No. Go and look at Sefco on the corner of Mobile Street and Spring Hill Avenue is a service station.
Yes, sir.
Sefco. I went and got Sefco out of Texas.
Yes, sir.
Because Sefco got breakfast, they got lunch, they make sandwiches.
Yes, sir.
For the people living back there. They could come up, some of them, they drink beer.
Yes,
they come, they roll the wheelchair up there and get them something cold to drink. Get them something to eat and roll the chairs on back there. So the cities told them no, because there's a big old oak tree was out there. Can't cut down the oak. It's a historical oak, heritage oak tree. So the oak tree man came out there and said, look across the street at that big old oak tree. Look at all that junk, all that stuff growing all around that tree. Grass 12 feet. Look over there. If you want to hug a tree, hug that one. This tree here got to go.
Yes, sir.
They cut that tree down. Public, Sefco came. Popeyes right down the street. That's big.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The moon pie drop. That's been they complained about me. They complained about me for a whole year. They didn't want me to drop the moon pie.
And why then? That's a good question. Why not though? It's like it's something that's
It's Fred Richardson. No one has ever done that. No one has done that. It's nothing in the central time zone bigger than the moon pie drop. We have become big. So now they're dropping snakes, possums. They try to catch up with me. They're dropping everything out the sky all over the country. It was New York and Atlanta.
Yes,
Atlanta had the peach, and New York had the ball drop. I said, I'm doing that.
You got creative.
I'm gonna drop the moon pie.
Yes, sir.
They said I didn't have it $9,000. They said he could feed the hungry, clothe the naked. Look what all he could have done with that money. Some moon pie. It generates $5.6 million in economic impact in one night.
Yeah.
In one night. But you don't hear nothing now.
No, you say yeah, man.
But if you go call the city of Los Angeles and said, have you ever had a council member to go out and recruit business for the city? I could tell you no. A council member doing that. Because they done put themselves in a corner. I'm not in no corner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know why I wear 2 watches?
Yes, sir. Why
I'm not following no other man.
Yes, sir.
Other man's got a watch on the left hand. Oh, no, not me.
Yes,
got a watch
sir.
on both hands. I'm my own man. Don't nobody tell me what to do. I do what I believe is right to do. And whatever I believe can help the people,
yes, sir.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yes,
so
sir.
I don't care about complaints. Know how come? When they see the results of what you're doing, they'll shut up.
Yes, sir.
When they saw Publix come, all them folks would fight me over that. They ain't fight me now.
Yes, sir.
But just keep on doing what's right. Right going to outbeat. It's going to win.
Yes, sir. Because
right
your intentions is pure while you doing it in the first place.
Ain't no doubt about it.
Yes,
We just have to keep on going. Right ain't not going to lose. It's going to take a little while for right to get up there. Right is going to win. I keep on doing what's right.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no doubt about it. So a lot of things I try to do, I get opposition because they say, there you go again. If we don't stop him, he's out there again.
Now
somebody need to do something.
Now I've been seeing them try to oppose. You was bringing a Burger King or something to Midtown or something like that, and they want to stop it. You was bringing a food place, I know, and I just been getting a lot of noise about it. They don't want it there.
No, they was fighting. They got. I've had a man pull up, him and his wife. He's afraid. This white guy. He said, "We fought you into the mud." He said, "We so proud of you, Fred."
Yes, sir.
He said, "My property value is the double." He said, "We just appreciate you so much." And you know what's across the street is a medical center.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no medical center around there. I got a medical center right next to the ice cream shop. It's a big medical center. And go down to the corner of Mobile and Farmer Boulevard and Ocean Road. It's a three-story building up there. The man came to me. He's afraid because of what you've done up here on 4th Street. We're going to put a building in there. He said it's going to have residential and retail. He said at the bottom it's going to be retail shops all the way down there, including a restaurant. He said, but on top, we're going to have an open air restaurant and a bar where you can catch the elevator and go up there and eat on the outside looking at the whole city. You got yourself something.
That's nice. That's nice.
I said, listen, brother, we can't eat no breakfast. We got to go and get a biscuit.
Yes, sir.
And we can't sit down nowhere and eat breakfast in Midtown. He said, I'm serving breakfast. He said, when I open up, we're going to serve breakfast. It's next door to the Dewdrop.
Yeah,
it's right next door to the Dewdrop. Look at that building there.
Yes,
they almost ready to open up. They wouldn't have been coming on that corridor. And look what's on the corner of Mobile and Farmer Boulevard and Spring Hill Avenue. We got a drugstore on that corner. We got a coffee shop with donuts there. We didn't have nothing there.
Yes, sir, you're right.
They're all coming to that corner because they see the value of it.
Yes, sir.
I approve. So that's what they did. They rushed and told Publix, say, if you go over there, you ain't going to make no money. Cause crime. Because see, you're right near black folk. If you go west, it's black. But if you go east, it's white. So you're right at the line. You're at Crichton and Midtown. So they was pointing at the black people, saying, if you come over there, so the public people came to me and said, Fred, what about the crime issue? He said, man, we don't want to open up now. We're going to spend all our money fighting crime. I knew they was going to do that. So I put out the crime report. I said, here's West Mobile crime report here. This is the crime report for mine. I said, this is the safest district in the city of Mobile.
Yes, sir.
He said, I said, brother, forget what they're telling you. Here is the crime report.
Numbers don't lie.
This coming from the police department. I said, you know what you got? Gossip.
Yeah.
You bringing me some gossip. I knew, because I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I said, here's 7 districts. Which one is safer? He said, District 1. Let's go. Let's rock and roll.
Yes,
they was trying to get me down. They were trying to get, I got the safest district in City Mobile, man.
Yes, sir. And I see the improvements riding through there. You see all type of improvements going on.
Ain't no doubt about it. I am very proud of District 1. And I tell you what y'all haven't heard this year in the race. you haven't heard nobody, you haven't heard the issue of race. You you can go back as far as you want to go. Every election, they got into race, black and white, race. So before the election, I put a resolution on the agenda to take race off the table. That I'm a member of the same race of all other humans. Ain't no such thing as no black race. I'm in the human race.
Yes, sir.
And what it takes to make me a human is the same thing to make them.
Yes,
if you
sir.
can stand up right, walk, talk, laugh, cry, think, reason, read, and write, you're human.
Yes, sir.
Color has nothing to do with no human. It's like dogs. Dogs come in all colors. Hogs come in all colors. Snakes come in all colors. Humans come in all colors, but they're still human. The proof is, if you can reproduce with who you're with, that's your race. Can't no dog make no hog pregnant. Can't no man make no dog pregnant. Man can only impregnate another human. If you can, whoever you can impregnate, that's your race. My great-granddaddy was a white man. He was in the same race as my black great-grandmother.
Yes, sir.
You trying to trick me, brother. Know what the council did? The council voted with me. Said, police chief, no, we need race, see, because we had to send those records to the government. That's okay. Mr. Chief, if I was here from Bangladesh and I was brown and the police pulled me over, what would be the race that he would put on the phone? He would put Bangladesh, that's his country. Put my country on the phone.
You said
I said, if I came here from Mexico and they pulled me over, I would say, Mexican, you going with his country.
Yes, yes.
Why don't you put my country down? Treat all us the same. Treat everybody in the city mobile. Take that down. Now, you can replace it with ethnicity. To say my ancestors came from Africa. Yeah, his ancestors came from Mexico, but his race is the human race.
Yeah, fact.
But now where his ancestors came from is a whole different place. The council agreed with me, so consequently, you haven't, if you watched it last night, did you hear anything about race?
No, sir.
No. I shut race down, locked it up, put it in the vault. I locked race up and put it in the vault. Ain't nobody said nothing about no race.
And that's really important though, because like you said, I'm the human race. What color do I don't matter.
When the great flood came, Noah put the animals in the ark, 2 by 2.
Yes, sir.
So you think the dogs, that look like those 2 dogs, dogs come in all colors. You think the cows, all cows, today look like the 2 cows that was on the ark? No, cows come in all colors. You think the humans look like the few humans that was on that boat? No, all of us evolved into who we are today. We don't all look the same. We're the same people. We don't look like, as a matter of fact, all of us don't look alike in the same household.
You
from our own mom and dad.
You said something.
All of us don't look alike. So we coming from all over the world. No, we don't look alike, but we all human. My point to that is, I closed the gap on that one. Yes, no other city in the nation was able to tackle that issue. All of the federal government running from it, everybody's scared of race.
Yes, sir.
Not fair.
Yes, sir.
I shot race down.
And that's what I want to say, touch on a little bit too, because even when you was doing the neighborhood organized worker movement, it was for equality. You was really pushing the board for everyone.
Everybody. I tell you what you do. Not one from 1702 to 1985, only white men served in government. Not one white woman. The white women came on the city council the same day blacks came on.
Yes,
because we freed them too.
Yes, sir.
They were locked down just like they was living in the house with the men, but they didn't have no more rights than we had. When the dust settled, we got 2 ladies on there. One of them is Jewish. I'm saying we got a diverse council,
yes,
a very diverse council. We would have had only white men if we hadn't done nothing. And all that knowledge and ability and vision, we wouldn't have had none of that. We would have had the same people. Let me just say this, the city of Mobile has made more progress from 1985 to now than it did from 1702 to 1985.
Yes,
know how come? Because you got everybody at the table.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's at the table. Ain't no one person trying to plot the course for Mobile. All us plotting the course. We all plotting the course. And we can plot a better course when you bring everybody to the table.
Mm-hmm.
We made that. They asked us last night did we want to get rid of the Zoggy bag that calls for 5 votes instead of 4 to pass in the bill. Most cities is just a majority. We got a super majority. No, we're not changing anything because if you keep it like it is now, can't no 3 blacks run the city, can't no 4 whites run the city.
Mm-hmm.
All of us got to come together and run the city.
Mm-hmm.
That's what put us ahead of all these other cities in the country. I heard the lady that was talking said, too much bickering. When you heard of the council bickering? We have whole discussions until we can conclude on what way we're going to go. You might say, I think we need to go over there. The other council members say, I like going over there. But by the time we finish, we're going to choose the way to go.
Yeah, that's part of
what they call that bickering. That's not no bickering.
That's communication.
Ain't no doubt about it. The
Yes,
system
sir.
is set up for us to debate the issues.
Yes, sir.
And then conclude on the best way to go. That's what we do. So she said, I just get tired of the bickering. If you don't go down and have a discussion, you're not going to come up with a good product.
Yes, sir.
If you let one person come in and say, we doing that, okay, we doing that. If they come and say, we doing that, oh, dude, I'm going to put my way, then they're going to debate it all, and then they might pick part of that, part of this, part of that, and head down the road.
Yes, sir.
That's what we do.
Yes, sir. I want to ask you a question, man, I want to ask you a question on what you feel about bridging the gap between law enforcement and the community, like having some kind of open dialogue to where, you know, we can come together and just figure out how could we be better as a community. You know what I'm saying?
Fred Richardson created a Citizens Police Review Committee for that reason. The mayor opposed it, the director of public safety opposed it, and the chief of police opposed it. We have it, but since they opposed it, it ain't going nowhere because they know the mayor's not for it. It's not going nowhere. Under Fred Richardson, that won't happen.
Yes, sir.
Oh no, not. As a matter of fact, if there's an incident between the police and a citizen that we are suspicious of, I'm bringing this committee in.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting a video camera. I'm gonna sit them in a room. I'm gonna let the police tell me what they think happened. Putting that over here. I'm giving it to these citizens over here. Y'all look at it. And I'm gonna take from those two, I'm gonna figure out what to do.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna let the police rule on the police. Because they're gonna favor their own kind.
Yes, sir.
They're gonna try to save their own kind.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm not doing that. The citizens group gonna come in. I'm giving it to them. Here's the video. Y'all stay in the room. And I want a written report from you all based on what you saw. I want y'all to write down what y'all saw and give it to me. I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna make a decision on what to do. Now, this bit is about body cameras. If the information we have was gathered by a public employee, it's public information. Now, if it's private, if you on your own, I can't do nothing about that. But if you work for the city and you done generated some information, and you work for the city, you're a public employee. That's public information.
Yes, sir.
If a police records something while he's on duty, that's public information. Now, I'm not for any citizens coming out there getting it. But if somebody mess with you and your family came down and said, I want to see the video. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm going to put them in the room and show it to them. This video said, I can't show you because it may be evidence.
That's important.
We spent $25,000 to train a police officer. So he or she ought to know how to conduct themselves.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to have to be open for scrutiny. You can't be out there, can't nobody judge me, can't nobody see what I do. No, I'm not doing that.
Yes, sir.
I'm not doing that. But we have 48 police beats in City Mobile. You don't know what beat you're in. You don't know nothing about no beat officer. That ain't happening. I'm going to have a dedicated beat officer in every police beat. Then I'm going to send the citizens that police officer's name and phone number.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you what I do know. No police officer gonna beat up on somebody they know. As long as they can be in your neighborhood patrolling undercover, you don't know who they are. When they pull you over, get out that car, get on the ground, lay down, shut up, cause they don't know you.
Yes, sir.
If you know them, they're not doing that.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna shut all of that foolishness down. You're gonna know your officer. He's gonna have to call big meetings on a regular basis where citizens can come and say, these are the things happening to us that we need your assistance with. And he can say, I need some assistance too. You ought to not lock in your cars, people keep breaking in. He's gonna tell them what to do to help him do his job. That's gonna happen.
Yes, sir.
Under me.
Yes, sir.
That was gonna be no more strangers in the police. Police gonna know everybody, and everybody gonna know who the police.
And that's important, though. That's important.
We're not gonna. It ain't gonna change until we make a change. We got to make it. Now they gonna fight it because they don't want you to know who they are, so they can do what they want to do.
Yes,
they don't want you to know their name. I'm sending the name to every living soul in that beat.
Yes, sir.
This is the officer, and this is his name, and this is his cell phone number. I'm turning this number in.
Because I've been seeing a lot of situations where, you know, it'd be like unfortunate incidents happen. Like someone be mentally ill and just be having an episode. And you kind of need somebody who know about mental health to step in. And, you know, besides the police all the time, because they're trained to just do one job and they don't understand a mental ill person, how to deal with them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to have those people at every precinct.
Yes, sir.
Somebody at every precinct trained.
Yes, sir.
To be deployed in case they need it.
That's important.
I'm going to have one there.
That's important.
And even with family, if they are sent to family issues, husband and wife fighting and all of that, husband get mad and he might strike back at the police. They have to shoot him. I want somebody trained professionals to come to that. I don't need the police in there trying to shoot somebody. I need somebody, a counselor, somebody trained to go into that situation. And they said, I want one at a time, sir. I want you to come in here and get the information, quiet them down. Then if they need to arrest, let the police do something. But all that knocking the door down, come in and get on there, we're not doing that.
Yes, sir.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Yes, sir. And that's like I say, that's important, you know, to be in that dialogue. It's something else I want to ask you too. I ain't gonna hold you too long. I want to ask you about, like, I don't know, like the mayoral over the school board, like far as it's a lot of programs like when I was young that we had that I see that isn't there anymore. And it was like a lot of stuff was kind of keeping us out of keeping the kids, giving them something to do. Like, you know, cause we had free lunch programs everywhere we went. We had like park and recreation, like summer jobs, and you know, it was a lot of things that were keeping kids, you know, away. And what you think about that? Like the Boys and Girls Club, like it's a lot of stuff. It's like a lot of free time to where it's, even though COVID here now, but I'm just saying, like, what you think about stuff like that?
We can't get involved in the school system. But this year alone, the mayor locked up our community centers, put a lock on it. I did a video. When I went to the Connie Hudson Senior Center, the doors automatically opened for me. Then I interviewed the men that was out there. I said, sir, do you come here on a regular basis? I do. How much do you pay for the programs that you participate in? Said, not one nickel. I come up here every day. I participate in any program I want to. The doors open automatically. I went over to the Sullivan Center on Catherine Street. Doors locked. Saying, this is what they're trying to say. These black people are so bad over here. They was born with a criminal mind. So the people working in here are working in fear. So they're putting a lock on the door because they're afraid of the people like, you in the safest district in the city of Mobile. That's how they try to project us.
Yes, sir.
The 4th precinct on Airport Boulevard near the airport is the worst precinct in the city of Mobile. Ain't nothing locked up. Connie Hudson center is in the 4th precinct. So let me give you a good example. We have vans that service the seniors. They carry them dinner and carry them to the centers. They moved all vans to the County Hudson Center and fenced it in because their point was blacks are so criminal minded. If we leave them in the black community, they're going to either take them or tear them up. They came up there and took the catalytic converter out of every one of them.
Look.
Now, they got cameras all over it. So when I asked them, who did y'all catch? We didn't catch. They did catch them too. But they was these rich folk children, and they were not going to do nothing. Now, you know, you got cameras all over the... So we couldn't detect nobody. What?
That's crazy.
So they done moved them to Sage Avenue. They done moved those niggas over back to my... They had to take them from up there.
Yeah.
They got them on those Sage Avenue. They did arrest. Man, if that had happened at the Dodge Center or the Figure Center, they had a list of people. They had put the picture in the newspaper. These are the kids. If y'all know them, turn them in. They had all of that. They had not one picture of nobody.
That's crazy.
But
man.
the thing is, they had programs for the summer, but each kid had to pay $50 a week to participate in the program. When you was coming up, we didn't have no pool mess like that.
Yes, sir.
No. You're already in the poorest neighborhoods in the city, and now you're gonna fleece these little old kids.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no way in the world I do that.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what you can do. You could go down to Cooper Waterfront Park on the weekend. They got bands playing for folks to come down there. The city paying for every bit of it. That ain't the poor folk. They're trying to get somebody down there that might go for him. They got skating downtown, all at the street. All at the street. But when you come to the hood, you got to pay. And
well, we need y'all.
you got to treat everybody the same. They should have set up what we can do with the convention centers. We can set the floor up for skating on the weekend, let them skate.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir. That's important.
We can let them play volleyball. We can do all kind of things. But that's helping us.
Yes,
he ain't
sir.
trying to help us.
Yes, sir.
We got to help us.
Yes, sir. That's real. And we can't, and I just got to say this, no disrespect at all, but we can't fall for the watermelon and chicken and tucker this time. We can't go for that this time. You know what I'm saying? I love tucker too, but we can't go for that.
No, but you got to look at who can help the community.
Yes, yes.
I'm not for one Mobile. I'm not for some Mobile.
Yes, sir.
I'm for all Mobile, all neighborhoods, all people, all the time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm for everybody. If you rain, I will spring.
Yes, sir.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you call me, I'm coming. And mine always gonna be the people's office. You want to see your mayor, call. If I'm gone, somebody gonna be there to see you.
Yes,
take
sir.
your complaint.
Yes, sir.
I ain't no doubt about it. I'm gonna see about the people.
Yes, sir. And that's first, because
See about the people.
The people make the city.
Right.
And, you know,
right.
That's very important. And it's something I want to ask you too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to touch too much on it, but I just want people to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, it started with you became the president of the N.O.W. in like the 70s. And that was like the same time like John L. leflore, who John L. leflore High School named after. Like he had a civil rights movement too at the same time. How was it at the time? Like, could you give me a little bit of the climate back then, or how tight and stressful it was, and the struggles y'all had trying to achieve like what you're achieving now? Because you sitting up here, you a city councilman, and you running for mayor.
Right.
That's stuff that could have never happened at that time.
Yeah. Okay, so starting with Rosa Parks in 1955, the civil rights movement is the rising up of the masses. So it didn't hit Mobile until 1968 after the death of Dr. Martin Luther King. We put in the march to commemorate Dr. King. They told us no. We marched anyway. Our point was, if not me, Who? If not now, when? If we don't do something, it'll rose up all over this nation. Mobile has been quiet. If we don't say nothing, who gonna say something? So we said, no, we're marching. So they didn't do nothing. They went on and let us march. So we decided to organize. We gonna organize, and we're gonna fight this system, and that we organize. The difference between our group and LeFlore's group, LeFlore's group was not part of the movement, the masses. He had the NAACP. I'm not trying to. He took the struggle into the courtroom. It was a place for that. He wasn't out there with the masses. We had that movement. He was in the court. As a matter of fact, he filed the lawsuit changing the Mobile form of government. The NAACP led that.
Yes, sir.
But we had already, with Dr. Casey, with the National Democratic Party of Alabama, we had changed at-large election of state representatives. So he took our model that we had and he filed, and he prevailed. LeFlore and I worked together at the U.S. Postal Service. He was a postal worker.
Yes, sir.
I knew LeFlore well. We all worked at the U.S. Postal Service. But it was first the NAACP, and then they shut him down over that because he wouldn't release the members' names and address. So he organized the Nonpartisan Voters League. That was J.L. LeFlore. But that organization didn't become a movement. At our meetings, we met every week at the Most Pure Heart of Mary. We would have 200 or 300 people at our meeting for years. That's a movement. That's the movement of people. But they had a board. That board met, but they didn't have citizens. You couldn't come to that meeting.
Yes, sir.
It's the board of the Nonpartisan Voters League met, but they was doing important work. Now they took issues because it looked like our group was getting recognition, so they called us militants. They gave us names associated with violence.
Yes, sir.
Militant means military.
Yes,
that
sir.
You got weapons. We didn't have no weapons. We didn't have none of that. They called us. They demeaned us to try to stop us. Nothing stopped us.
Yes, sir.
We were not able. We had other organizations dealing with voter registration, but it was not but one movement. That was the neighborhood organized workers. So we had the toughest job because the system, they didn't aim that very much at LeFlore. As a matter of fact, they got a picture of LeFlore in Langham down there on Broad Street.
Yes, sir.
I bet you they ain't gonna put no business picture up there because we fought the system in a different way.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, when we had lunch counters that we couldn't drink coffee or get a sandwich from the lunch counter. Well, what the Florida would do is go meet with the police chief. So we got some children we're going to send in there. And we want y'all to be standing by, so if somebody try to harm them, you will protect the children. So we need the date and the time. We need to know the children. So they'll send them in there, and the people behind the counter, get up, nigga! Ah! And the police come out and say, hey, you can't do that. We didn't take that. We didn't ask nobody nothing. We went there and sit down.
Yes, sir.
We didn't get no permission. We didn't tell no police. We got as much right to be as you.
Yes,
we went and sit down. And so the man said, what we did, try. Well, when they found out that we weren't going to take their mess, they didn't do nothing.
Yes, sir.
But if you sit up there, man, I'll slap you down. Please don't slap. Bam!
Yes, sir.
Man, slap me down. I'll double dog that. So raise your hand if you're so bad. we took a whole, and there's no record of them coming out to beating up on us. Nobody.
Yes, sir.
So they said they violent.
Yes, sir.
Y'all better not mess with them because they'll shoot you. We didn't have no guns. We couldn't be in the square. We couldn't sit in the square. Now you can walk through that. Now if you was a black woman and you had some white children, and you all was in BM Square, they wouldn't bother that. But me as a black man in the square, obviously that's a lot of police make me get up. We went down to the square, sit down. Please tell me. You ain't gonna sit and make me. Got as much right to sit as anybody else.
Yes, sir.
I'm just, I pay my taxes, I'm not moving. They go there and say, let them know. Better do nothing.
Yes, sir.
We divide, we did not buy back with none of that food stuff.
Yes, sir.
We didn't go buy that. But we changed the whole city. We changed the whole city. But a great price was paid for that. Biz and them paid a great price for what they did.
No.
Mm-hmm. Biz had he had the Sabre Club was one of the most popular nightclubs in the whole South.
Yes, sir.
Beasley owned the Sabre Club. He owned Independent Vault Company. He owned a grocery store with a barbecue section in the grocery store.
Mm.
All of that Beasley owned. So he was in the middle. His wife was a school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So Beasley was a middle class man. You know, he had businesses making money.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then they had a chain of drugstores. These people put the families in jeopardy, put the businesses in jeopardy to fight the system.
Yes, sir.
And we got people out here, the people who didn't want Beasley and them doing what they done, had them put up as some bad criminals, and people who don't understand what the system was doing, they still, Beasley and them, they were into drugs. Okay, what drug? Who caught them with drugs?
Yes, sir.
Who saw him with a drainer? Beasley didn't smoke. He didn't drink. He didn't do none of that. Mm-mm. But the day and the time, they asked me last night who was my hero. Noble Columbus Beasley.
Mm. Yes, sir.
Noble Columbus Beasley.
Yes, sir.
I told him last night.
That's hard, man.
I called his name last night. Noble Columbus Beasley. Now, that's my man right there.
So he ended up getting arrested or
29 years in federal prison.
Mm.
So what happened? He had life without parole. He gave me the name of the lady that was in charge of all of the prisons. She was stationed at Atlanta, black woman. So I wrote her and told her the role. I sent her a copy of the Genesis and the Exodus.
Yes, sir.
I sent her a detail for her the struggle that Beasley was in. That he has never been arrested for any drugs, but he's spent his life in prison, yet he hasn't. So she wrote me back. She said, I wish I had this information earlier. She said, I'm going to get back with you, and I'm going to tell you a date and a time to go pick up Mr. Beasley. And she said, when you go get him, he's not going to be on no parole. He's going to be free to live his life any way he wants to.
Mm.
So about 2 weeks later, she wrote me to go get Mr. Beasley. She told me where to go. I drove up there, and the warden of that camp came out. He said, Councilman Richardson, Mr. Beasley had no business in here. He said, I'm so glad you're coming to get him. These are the folks that was holding it.
Yes, sir.
He said, wasn't nothing we could do. So he's been a model prisoner. He's an outstanding man. He said, I can't make no public statement, Mr. Richardson. He said, he had no business in here.
Yes, sir.
These are the folks that was holding it.
Man.
I didn't ask them nothing. He came and told me, he said, come on in here. He said, I'm proud to live. Yes, he did. They didn't put they put them things on your leg that attract you. Oh no.
Yeah.
It's like every game I took Beasley to everything I went to. I made sure he made up for the time. Any official thing that the city was putting on, I don't care if he was meeting with the governor. He was sitting right outside the governor.
Yes, sir.
I dressed him up, he's sitting right outside the governor.
That's real, huh? That's real.
So he told me, he said, Fred, I don't regret a day that I spent in prison, because I have seen the fruit of my labor.
Yes, sir.
I have seen what I was fighting for come true. He said, if I came out of prison and everything was like it was when I went to prison, then I would have been sorry. He said, after seeing what I've seen, I don't regret a day I went to prison. So I said, okay. I said, I want you, I said, I'm going to republish my book just for you to write a statement to the public about your time in prison and how you feel about the time you spent in prison. And he did. If you get it, it's going to be a page.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a page from N.O.W. Just
Yes,
outstanding that I'm not hating nobody.
Yes, sir.
Hating nobody. And he said, I appreciate everybody who prayed for me that I would be set free. And
Yes,
the
sir.
Lord delivered me. You need to read what it's earth shaking to read. He could have come out and said that low down dirty system that treated me wrong. He didn't get off into none of that.
Yes, sir.
He didn't go down that road.
Yes, sir.
I'm a blessed man to live to see the fruit of my labor. That was his statement.
Man, could you tell these folks where to find the book and what's the name of it?
I Googled it. The
Yes,
Genesis, the Exodus. Just Google Frederick D. Richardson books.
Yes, sir.
The Genesis, the first two books in the Bible is Genesis and Exodus. The Genesis and Exodus of N.O.W, which means neighborhood organized workers.
Yes, sir.
That's all you got to do is go.
Yes,
You ain't got to search it.
Yes, sir.
It's online.
Yes,
It's on Amazon.
Man, that's deep, man. That's what I'm telling y'all, man. This is a real legend. I'm finna let them get out of here. But is there anything you want to tell these viewers? You know what I'm saying, to let them know why it's important to vote locally and why they need to go to the polls and vote for you specifically.
In 2017, former Mayor Sam Jones lost the race by 7,500 votes. I had 14,000 registered African-American voters in District 1 alone. 4,000 showed up. Out of 14,000, Sam lost by 7,500 votes. I'm not counting the people who did show up in District 2, who did show up. In other words, there was no reason for Sam Jones not to win. He lost because the people stayed home. No vote, no hope. Whatever you want this city to be, it will not be that if you stay home.
Yes,
if you want some change, if you want your life to be better, if you want your neighborhood transformed, you got to go to the polls and vote. You got the power.
Yes, sir.
Our ancestors died. Go back to the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama. John Lewis and all of them that was beat down into pulp, blood running down the street. They didn't beat them because they were trying to vote. They beat them because they were protesting for the right to vote. Otherwise, we don't even want you saying that you want to vote. So they went through all of that so you could vote for the sake of your ancestors. On the 24th, on next Tuesday, vote. And you ain't got to worry about the results. You ain't got to worry about the results. You go to the polls and vote.
Yes,
and I believe that Fred Richardson will be just fine. And I believe that I will be the one to see about you, to make sure that whatever you want your neighborhood to be, I will be there for you.
Yes, sir. And that's why I got to put my stamp on it. I know he'll authentic man, and you know what I'm saying, he really cares, you know what I'm saying? So I just that's why it's important to do this interview, you know what I'm saying? And man, Mr. Fred, man, y'all go to them polls, y'all vote, man. Y'all do whatever y'all gotta do, where they can find you at on social media so they can come, they can donate. Y'all give them that information too before we get out of here.
My website is bit.ly/Fred, the number 4, Mayor, MAYOR, 2021. bit.ly/Fred, LY/Fred for Mayor 2021. You are there on my page, and there's a big old red button saying donate. If you want to donate, hit the red button to tell you how to donate, but you will be there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. This has been another legend interview. There you go, the man right here. This is not a myth. Man, thank y'all for tuning in, man. This has been another great interview, man. Y'all follow us on the ground. Follow me, 251 Hefe on the Instagram. Y'all follow us, Smoke Room 93 on Facebook. Hey, man, y'all get out there to them polls. Y'all go vote, man. Y'all go vote, man. This is very important, man. It's more important to vote locally. You know what I'm saying? You gotta vote for the people of your community, man. It's important, man. And like I said, and I say all the time, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to Carly World behind the camera, man. Y'all follow the man, man. Thank y'all, man. And we in, and we got this thing, man. Bye.
5 grams in the backwood, meet me in the city. Nigga want a jewel, tell her meet me in the city. 5 grams in the backwood, meet me in the city. Shawty wanna lay up, she know we ain't got no feelings. I came up from the floor.